as in any good, exciting, fast-paced thriller, there has to be a potential catastrophe that the central character must avert. And in this instance, the beginning of the catastrophe is when the scientific expedition to drill down to Lake Ellsworth, this sub-glacial lake, succeeds. And you think, well, that should be, all about celebration. And of course, the characters in the book are celebrating because they have succeeded in bringing this ancient life form to the surface, a life form that has been buried down there for centuries. And they bring it to the surface and they take it back to the UK. But from a thriller author's point of view, that creates a great opportunity for something to go terribly wrong. And I'm not going to reveal what that is, but I would say that there are a lot of very bad people out there who want to use it for very bad purposes. Now I'm going to pass over to Martin. I'm actually going to ask him, given you've read Devour and the catastrophe that potentially ensues in the book, why do you keep drilling down to these ancient lakes to find these life forms? I'm fascinated.
So that's a very good question. Why would we want to do this if disaster awaits us if we're successful? And there are two scientific reasons to want to do sub-glacial lake. One is to look at the sediments on the floors of the lakes. Tells us about past ice sheet history in Antarctica, so nothing to do with sorts of things you were describing. But the other is microbes that might be living in sub-glacial lakes. This is a fundamental question about life on our planet. Can life exist beneath the ice in Antarctica? Is it a habitable environment? And if it is, it makes the idea of there being life on Europa, the icy moon of Jupiter, possibly greater. Our appreciation of it might change.
Yes, I thought that was fascinating.
For sure. So, again, in order to understand that, we can go to Europa and try and drill through the icy shell, or we can save ourselves a lot of money and try and do a similar type of experiment in Antarctica. So of the 400 subglacial lakes that we know about, Lake Ellsworth is one of them. There are quite a few nations now looking at the project that we were doing and thinking about how that can be adapted and changed to look into subglacial aqueous environments, as we call them, water environments, not just subglacial lakes, sediments which are full of water, the connecting streams between subglacial lakes. The 50% of the base of the ice sheet is probably involves water. So there's potential for a large area of the continent to potentially contain life. But in order to find that, we have to get into it and then carefully measure and sample the water and the sediments. So that's what we're trying to do. If and when we're successful, those sediments and water samples will come out and they will go to laboratories in ultra clean conditions, and we'll look at them in a very careful way. We're not expecting there to be any unusual things that might harm us, but we are expecting for there to be interesting adaptations to these very unusual, discrete, unique and extreme environments.
Thank you.